It's not. It's low. Welcome to podcast number 8 with the Baltimore Touchdown Club. We are live from DePaula's basement. Tonight we are here with TRW Podcast. TRW.
White's back in the building.
Back in the house.
Absolutely. What's up, dog?
What's up, dog? What's up, dog?
Dog?
No more Jamie Willis. We could barely hear Jamie last week, but hey, Jamie, thanks for stepping out and helping us. I don't want to throw you under the bus. We appreciate you, Jamie.
I see how ripped though.
Doing a great job.
What's up, B?
Got a great show tonight. We're going to talk about COVID-19 stuff again. You know, as the numbers are spiking in the United States, some league, the MIA, has decided to play, so we're going to interview 2 of the coaches, see how they're doing. Wisconsin versus Nebraska canceled this weekend because of COVID outbreak. Some NFL teams have canceled. Again, you know, we have all kinds of stuff.
High school team just ended their season because of it.
So real quick, update on Baltimore County. What's going on with COVID-19?
Well, we got a tentative schedule for voluntary conditioning and workouts. The winter workouts will start November 16th through December 4th. And fall workouts, which is football, we start December 7th through December 30th, and I believe our first play date will be around January 4th or the week of that, and that's when spring workouts begin January 4th through January 22nd.
So is that kind of like what Howard County did? Everybody moved the fall forward?
Yeah, well, you know, we got a new directive, so we're going to start, like I said, November 16th for winter sports, so that's basketball, indoor track, wrestling. They can come back and start doing that thing on November 16th, and I'm just waiting for December 7th.
Yeah, well, you know, like Howard County, what they did is...
What's December 7th again?
That's fall workouts.
The fall workouts. They can start working out.
Voluntold workout.
Voluntold in pods.
Right.
In pods,
with
what
a whole
does that
bunch
mean?
of
All
restrictions.
right, moving right along because we got to get to our first guest. So Howard County is going to start February 13th, and they're going to end April 16th, and that's fall sports. So they're going to do that. What's Anne Arundel County doing?
We out there working out right now.
You out there working out? Well, it's almost over now. All right,
ours is over.
Like I said, let's talk about the MIA. MIA, you know, with the numbers rising, decided they're going to get their football season in. They're not going to play in the spring. They are going to play their first week December 7th, and they've all started practicing. So we're going to talk to Kyle Schmidt from Archbishop Spalding. Kyle, are you on the line? Kyle, are you there?
Kyle Schmidt?
Kyle Schmidt. We're having technical Kyle, are you there? Kyle.
Hey, Mr. Schmidt.
He said he had to go.
Just
He got to go to practice.
Moving on.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
All right, so again, you know, the MIA is going to play their games. They're going to play anywhere from 5 to 6 games. They're going to play teams within each other. I believe they'll play in each other twice.
McDonald's, they opted out.
Right.
Who else opted out?
I heard that's the only team that opted out. I know BL, St. Paul's, and all of them, they were considering they were trying to put together a schedule. You know, St. Paul's is only going to play 3 games. They're going to play BL, and they're going to play 2 other schools. Kyle, back on? Kyle, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Kyle,
there we
what's
go.
up, man?
There we go.
Hey, sorry.
What's
What's up, fellas?
What's happening? We have technical difficulty. So fill us in. What are you guys doing out in Spalding? You guys practicing now?
They've been practicing
Yeah,
since last
we
year.
just had practice 10 this morning, and we're going. The morning is on Wednesdays because we're asynchronous and no school. So we've been practicing. It was 10 practices in. We start on the 17th, and we're rolling, man. I just coming from our under squads. We're practicing out on the field tonight, and it feels like August and October is what it feels like. We got meetings at 8 o'clock tonight, so we're rolling.
So are you
Yeah,
in
we're
full?
rolling.
Are you in
It's
full
really good.
gear? Full gear?
Yeah, full gear. Yeah, full gear. We scrimmaging on Saturday.
So who you scrimmaging
So-
Saturday? So
We're scrimmaging Concordia.
Concordia.
So,
Come?
yeah, you know, basically there's 10 teams of scrimmage, and everybody kind of divvied up and scrimmaged the people that
Can
they're
I
not
come to the
playing for
scrimmage,
the
Coach?
season.
Can we come and watch the scrimmage, or is there they're gonna
There
shut
are
the gates?
no fans.
No.
There are no fans at the scrimmage.
Hey, so St. Paul's
there's
are.
there's a guest list. Elwood, there's a guest list. So we'll see. Maybe I can get you on it.
So I heard St. Paul's was telling their parents they were only allowed to come to 1 game. Is that what you're telling your parents, or they can come to all of your
I
games?
think it's going to end up being like a two person per player deal is the most likely. Where once we kind of get clearance, every kid will have like 2 tickets per se, and they can just get in the game at that point. That's the plan right now.
How are you guys going to turn away people pulling up just want to watch the game? I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Well, yeah. So that's why I just coach Rip, and I leave that to Jeff Parsons and Stazimar. So.
That's why I was a police officer for 23 years. Hammer it down.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm unemployed right now.
You
with
know,
the-
I
you
mean,
know, you want to invite me down, or I'll work security for you. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
He don't have no gun no more, though.
Yeah, I do. I have a
It's
gun.
Hey, it's popular, as we've seen with some of the decisions in the sports and in government right now. And I'm not being critical of anybody. It's popular to say that's not on my plate. That's out of my jurisdiction.
So-
that's somebody else's.
So
issue.
without
They can
getting
worry
in
about that.
trouble,
So,
I heard the MIA basically stepped back and told you guys do your own schedule, do your own thing, and will not sanction a league. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's pretty
yeah,
much.
they did. They couldn't come to an agreement on everybody. There was a bit of a split between independent schools and Catholic schools on all of the scheduling, and not without going too deep. And honestly, I don't know it all. I wasn't in every meeting, but
Let me ask you this,
That's
Coach.
sorta
I
where
ain't
it
no
was,
room for
and-
St. Francis on the schedule.
they're not playing. We were filled.
Hey,
So,
Cal, this is Reggie White. Let me ask you a really important question.
what's up, Reg?
How you doing, man? How old
Yeah.
is your little boy now?
He's 9.
Well, tell him
9
I
years
want to
old.
offer him a scholarship to Milford Mill now on tape. I want to be the first one to offer him because that's my guy. Tell him I said hello, man.
That is.
I know
Yeah,
how. I
definitely.
want to
I'm
know how
actually-
excited
I'm
is he
waiting.
that football is back.
More
That's
excited than
the
Kyle.
the number one guy. He can't wait, man.
I
He
know
told
he
me
can't.
we were at school a week ago. Yeah, we were at school a week ago, and they had the lights on, and we're walking away, and he's like, "Man, look at that, Daddy." He's like, "I just need my Friday night lights." So,
That's right. That's
he
my
loves
guy right
it.
there.
So-
and
So what's
his
your
guy, Evan. Good.
No,
you're
go ahead.
good.
I didn't mean to cut you off. What's your schedule?
I was. So we got 7 games. We're actually starting with St. Joe.
Oh man, that's a
and
great
then
game. Right.
It's a great first game. I mean, it's Dom's, first game there, and then we go Loyola, Calvert Hall, and then we're playing St. Joe on Thanksgiving morning. So, like I said, Loyola, Calvert Hall, they're playing the Turkey Bowl. They'll be on ABC, and Spalding
Y'all gonna
St.
be
Joe
on
will
the
be on
Hey,
WB.
hey,
CW.
we gotta. We'll
Yeah,
come down.
the CW, right?
Hey,
the
the
WB.
podcast.
Yeah.
We'll come down and do the game.
We'll
Can we come down?
there.
You
We'll
let-
come
Right,
down.
yeah, heck yeah.
Dude, we'll in.
We'll
we'll
get the
in.
podcast. You guys announce it.
All right,
That'd be
that's
awesome.
what's up.
We
We'll
got
go
it. We got it.
Thanksgiving
We'll call
morning.
Jeff Parsons.
Let's, we're in.
All right, mate. Well,
Yeah.
I'll hook up with you and talk about it. The TRW
I'd love to
podcast
do it.
live from Spalding.
In the building.
I would love live on the field.
Dude,
Spalding, St. Joe,
Our
and then
producers
we
say,
go,
"Let's do it."
Calvert Hall again.
right.
Yeah, Calvert Hall again, and then Curly and Pilati are the last two. So the schedule was not, Rip, you've done it. The schedule was a whole nother nightmare of getting everybody, because all the B's didn't want to play all the A's, and all the A's were open to playing anybody. So we agreed to play each other twice, and I mean,
It's going to be
been
a mash
tough. I
unit.
think
It's going to be a mash unit when you get done.
it might. I mean, it could be. It's crazy. You just want to play, and it's crazy though. Everybody wants to play, and then we get to the point where they say, "Go ahead and play." Then everybody starts going, "Well, I don't know if I want to play here, or I want to play then, or I
Oh,
want to
man,
play."
that's
And
unbelievable.
it goes. I think, and listen, I got a good group, and we got good kids, and I got some really good players, so I get it. Like, I'm cool with playing anybody at any point. I realize that some guys, we got new coaches in the league who have seen their kids a couple times. They're not probably real fired up about going down and playing Spalding on a Friday when we got some 4-year players and some 3-year players and a staff
Right.
that's been here for 8 years. So I get all that.
Yeah.
And so I understand it. And,
So
we're still all recruiting.
so
That's part of it too.
when I was at Cardinal Gibbons, my first year coaching, I went and played Chambersburg High School. And the guy there was a famous coach up at Chambersburg, and it was my first year at Gibbons. We had 28 players, and the coach was like, they've won like 10 state championships. He's like, a team from D.C. dropped us. Will you come play us? So they wound up paying me a lot of money to play them. But the coach said to me, "Hey, coach, here's what we're going to do. Every time we get up by 12, we'll pull our starters and put in our JV team." Is that what you're going to do for some of the teams?
I mean, part of this whole deal is you want to get your seniors a lot of tape. Some of
Right.
the seniors and juniors, you want them to have a season. So I think there's going to be a lot of guys at 34, might kick that ball right into the back of the lineman. And I'm not saying we're going to be in this spot. I pray that we can get to this spot and win some games. But if you do, you just want to keep playing. Why, when you're playing a 7-game season, would you want any running clocks? I'm not saying we will run and clock anybody. We probably won't with the schedule that we're playing. But you just want to play a full 48 minutes and not get one of those games that's only 98 plays on huddle instead of 150. So,
All right.
Absolutely.
yeah, you just want to play.
All right, so before we let you go, one of the things we talked about on the podcast, some of these kids are opting out playing because they've already committed to colleges. Are any of your kids do that, or
Yeah.
they're hanging in? What's the deal?
No, we did have 3 kids leave in the summer to go play in states where they're playing football.
Okay.
And that was fine. That was their decision. But we got a lot of kids that hung in there to play, and we've had nobody. We've had a couple of kids, not nobody who's like committed to college. We got a kid committed to Penn State. He's playing. A kid committed to Maryland is playing. And they're ready to go. They're as excited as anybody. But we had a couple leave, but a few young kids who were new to the school who decided that they just didn't want to do it. But overall, I mean, we got about 100 kids. We, unfortunately, we don't have a freshman schedule, so I was just walking away. Our under squad's got about 50 kids out there, and that's probably too many for a young guy group. But we'll figure it out. Those guys they'll get them playing time. So.
Hey, I want to go on record. Can I get a game with Spalding next year, Coach?
Hell yeah. Definitely.
My man.
Northeast Spalding would be a great rivalry, Edward.
My man.
You know that.
I'm betting Reggie right now that he won't be at Northeast next year. So, so it will be somebody else. I'm just betting.
City of Benton raise you.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, thanks for calling in.
Guys,
all right.
No problem, fellas. I appreciate. Hey, Thanksgiving morning, man. We'll be there. We'll have turkey sandwiches.
All right. Hey, we're gonna connect. Our producers gave us the thumbs up. We just got to get better camera and all that. So. All right.
Tell Red, I got a spot, Reggie. Reggie, we'll do pie. We always do pie on Thanksgiving.
Well, I
morning
appreciate that, and I'll be right there.
Hey, Kyle, we'll have better ratings than Loyola Calvert Hall. Guarantee it.
No doubt.
800
right?
people watching our podcast all the time. They'll want to tune in and hear us knuckleheads. So
I'm in.
All right, bro.
That's awesome.
Have a good one. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you, Kyle.
All right. Good hearing from you. Yep. Later.
That's awesome. Now we're going to try to get Brandon Ireton, who's a curly coach. So we're going to cover 2 of them. About the MIA. You heard basically the MIA said go out and do your own thing and figure your schedule out.
Curly B conference? Yeah,
they'll B conference, but you heard they'll play in Spalding.
Yeah,
they are. It's going to be tough. The B conferences are playing the A teams, and I always thought at St. Paul's I had 32 kids on the roster. You get 2 or 3 of them hurt, your backups aren't as good as the A conference who have one and number 2s. It's crazy. So again, we'll get Coach Ireton's view of this and see what he thinks.
What's the tuition at St. Paul's right now?
I don't know. A lot.
Exactly.
Brandon, are you there? Coach Ireton, you there? Coach.
I'm here. How you doing?
There he
What's
is.
happening,
Yeah,
brother? Yeah, we got you. We hear you loud and clear from Curlyville. You at the school or you on the way home? What are you doing?
On the way home.
You on the way home? Hey, Coach, we just spoke to Kyle
Yeah.
Schmidt. We just spoke to Kyle. We heard you're playing them in a game this year? At the end of the
We're going to
season?
finish up we're going to finish up our regular schedule with them. Yeah.
Good deal. So, hey, Coach, how are you guys doing that? Are you got full gear on? Fill us in on what's going on with Curly.
Yeah, we've been we didn't do anything all summer up till I can't remember when we got I think we started practice towards the end of August. We were in shorts and t-shirts, not doing just kind of getting into it, and then no, maybe more in September. So September we got into it, and then we've probably been in full pads the second week in pads. So, and then we did a week of helmets before that. So we're kind of easing into it, right?
Yeah. So, hey, Coach, so how many guys you got out? How many you have on your varsity team, or how many total are out?
We got 40 on varsity and 35 on JV.
That's awesome, Coach. That's awesome. Hey, I saw a video on Facebook. You guys out there tackling each other. How's that going? Every kids excited?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of kids were, I think they're just happy to be out there because at this point, I feel like nobody really thought that we would have a season at least till spring.
Mm-hmm.
And, just to be out there and be around their guys and stuff, I think it's been a really, they've been excited. I think coaches, I'm still kind of shocked that, we're getting ready to play, so we got scrimmage Saturday, so I'm still.
Who are you guys scrimmaging Saturday? Who you got Saturday?
Loyola.
Can I come to the scrimmage?
Yeah,
Coach?
we just asked Kyle. Can we come to the scrimmage, or are we gonna get locked up for being there?
Yeah, unless you got a kid on the team.
Is it at Curly?
Watch from the hill.
It's that Curly, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can watch that
right.
from outside the gate. We
can stay
there.
outside the gate.
I would set my chair right outside
Coach
the gate.
Ireton, let me ask
We'll
you
do a
question.
podcast from there.
Let me ask you this: is this
No,
the
just-
old Curly
just don't,
foot to foot, or you opening that thing up? This is Coach White.
No. We're a little different from what Murph did. So
They got a quarterback.
yeah,
man.
so-
They got a kid who can throw the ball.
yeah, we got a guy who can swing it. So
Hey, so fill us in. What's your schedule? Who do you have?
so we open up with John Carroll. Then we go to St. Mary's. we got stuck with a bye, and then we're supposed to play Concordia Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
And,
again?
Friday.
What's up with
Playing
that
on
with
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving? Man, what's up?
It's real football
Well,
on Thanksgiving, baby.
That's what the stats. And then we're supposed to be fall. That's the schedule they were given to us. So
Where are you playing
Trying to
Thanksgiving?
get-
Your
trying to
place?
go-
You play? Where are you
it's supposed
playing?
to be home, yeah.
Supposed to be home.
Hey,
Okay.
it's supposed to be at Curly, yeah.
All right. So Kyle's going to pay us $1,000 to do his game. So you want to up that and give us $1,500, and we'll be there to televise your game.
What time y'all play?
Well, right now it's scheduled for 10 o'clock, so we're trying to work it out right now.
That's cool. That's
So,
cool.
Coach, basically, how
Yeah.
excited are you that football is back?
Ginger ale, coach.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We had all the time off, and then it's just the year kind of started off a little different for me. So during August or July, my wife and I, we had a newborn, so I didn't even know what was going to happen, right? So to be able, it kind of worked out in our favor too, to where being able to start practice late. So it was just to be out there and be around the kids, and because we started hybrid right away. Back in September with school, so just being around the school and kind of being around the kids, it's really, it's brought a lot of energy to me and to our guys. So I feel like it's just an awesome to be able to be out there and be able to do it like we've been doing. So.
Well, first of all, from the TRW podcast, congratulations on the newborn. And, man, we just wish you much success.
A lot of sleepless nights.
Real quick question. Do you have any kids that might opt out, not play, or because that's been a theme for a little bit? Anybody saying they're not going to play, any scholarship kids saying they're just going to go ahead and move forward?
No, all our guys are geared up, ready to go.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, Coach. Well, again, hey, thanks for calling in and give us a little bit of your time. We wish you the best. Keep us posted and keep you guys safe. Okay?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thanks,
All right,
Coach.
thanks
Take care.
for all you guys do.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
buddy. Bye. Gentlemen, those guys are ready to play some football. I mean, what's going on?
I'm jealous.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Jealous.
But, again, the numbers are spiking, so what's going to happen when they get one kid on their team? They're going to have to probably shut it down. It's
Are the numbers spiking or everybody getting tested?
I don't know. You know what?
You're getting more people tested, so you're going to have more positive cases. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast.
You know what? If I was coaching right now at St. Paul's, I would sit down with the kids and say, hey, look, here's the deal. You have an opportunity to play. You need to do the right things. You need to stay away from parties. You need to stay away from people. You need to take care of yourself and think of your family.
15, 16, 17.
I know that, Coach, but again, football's about life lessons. It's about teaching things. When they get to college, that's what the colleges are doing. You need to make the right choices. They said right now the numbers are spiking because of weddings, parties, get-togethers.
The numbers are spiking because of the election next Tuesday.
And Reggie, who you voting for?
I've already cast my vote. That's a private matter. Thank you.
Elwood, who you voting for?
I wrote in Dick Tracy.
I was going to wait until all the rallies get done. I'm paying attention to the rallies right now to see.
So you're not going to go on air and say you're voting for Trump?
No, I'm not going to make that. Again, as
wait
Reggie
a
says,
minute.
it's very, very private to me. Okay? It's private to me. Okay? All right? Okay, so we
Make
have
America great again,
right.
baby.
We have lockdowns or continue to live with the virus. So that's all I got to say with that.
That's all that's going to happen regardless. You
All
got
right.
to move on.
All right, let's move on. All right, so again, hey, everybody. Again, last week's show was awesome. We talked about the best offensive players that we have seen in our lifetime. And again, I'm 51. Reggie, you weren't here. How old are you?
50?
You got to be kidding. I'm older than you.
You're older than me. I'm 50. What do you want me to say?
He played in the league.
70, baby.
He's played in the league, so he's real rusty.
A little rusty, yeah.
Yeah, I'm much better looking than him. He's lots
Absolutely.
younger. All right.
Absolutely.
And then Elwood's 32. So
I wish.
yeah, he wish. So again, we covered offense last week. We're going to cover defense this week. So we're going to look at the best defensive linemen. We're going to look at the linebackers, and we're going to look at DBs. We sent out a Facebook message out to all the people that were contacted.
He actually followed directions
Right,
this week.
yep. We had great response. I sent emails out to coaches, great response. So, again, this was a great pool of people that we put together. So, again, D-line, let's go with Reggie. Can you give me two D-linemen in your history, besides yourself, that you've seen play that are the best you've ever seen?
Well, I'm going to start with two of them that's on that list, and one is the Gooch with the Gooch, Melvin Elise. We played them, and he single-handedly took over the game from punting to tackling to running to doing everything. And like with 1 minute 36 seconds left in the fourth quarter, that's when he took over the game. And I don't want to talk about that anymore. Then the other kid was Charles Tapper, who went to Oklahoma. Just phenomenal athlete, man.
I'm trying to think. Charles Tapper, man. You see, he's a specimen, man. He was unbelievable. I think he was a first-round draft pick or second-round. I mean,
he wasn't nowhere near that.
He was nowhere near that. He was late.
He was late.
He was late. All
Late
right.
in the draft.
All right. So you up, pal? Who'd you have for?
I mean, I'm going the same with Reggie. I
Come
didn't
on,
get
man.
to see Melvin play, but I played against Charles Tapper when I coached at Douglas. He played at City, so he was a phenom. So
He was a phenom. All right. We got Joe on the line.
Not yet, but
Yeah, we do. Joe DeBlasi, welcome back. Joe.
I am here.
Hey, brother, what's
Coach,
Coach, how you doing? How are you, coaches? How you doing, Coach?
Hey,
You know what,
Coach,
Coach? Some lady texted me the other day and said you had the sexiest voice she's ever heard on radio and podcast. That's what she
Yeah,
said.
he got a
but then I'm voting. I got to put her on the top of the list tonight, right?
Coach, how
Is
you
she a
doing?
flanker? Is she a wide receiver? Was she a flanker? Quarterback? What
She's the
position?
center.
wait a minute. Just
Oh,
wait a
jeez.
minute.
All right, Coach. So you've been around a long time, Varsity Sports Network, writing a lot of articles about private schools. You cover them, but you've seen everybody. Give me your two best defensive linemen that you've seen in your history, your lifetime.
Two best defensive linemen. The times again, the focus is on the MIAA for me,
Right.
and some of the MSA going back, but Gilman, and a lot of what you're talking about tonight.
Right.
Victor Abamari was probably the best that I saw as a defensive end.
Correct. Mhm.
And linebackers, I mean, that's the only guy I can really focus on. I heard you talking about a couple other players I never covered. But the linebackers, I can give you a few.
Go ahead. Give us that.
Just like last week when we talked about Dunbar's top running back, we went to the NFL and we got to Tommy Powey from Dunbar. He actually had a season with the Ravens. He's got to be the best.
Mhm.
But maybe unsung, Ben Eaton at Gilman again. He was a defensive player of the year for Biff.
Mhm.
And he was on that run when they had all those championships. And, some of the other guys on the team were Brandon Copeland and Micah Kaiser. Another good one was Terrence Garvin, who was known more, I think, for his offensive prowess. But he was a good linebacker. But I'd say Powey and Ben Eaton were my two favorites. And as a defensive end, it was Abamari. Now, if you go to defensive backs, I got to wait for you to bring that in, I guess, unless you want me.
No,
that
we
I
want to hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
You're
go
giving
ahead.
us
Go
your
for it.
I
list.
got several. I can say several. One, again, it's somebody I watched that I never covered, but I was familiar with at Gibbons, was Roger Brown, because he actually played in the Super Bowl for the Giants in around like 1990, I think. But the other three, I got two Gilman guys, St. Joe guy, and a Calvert Hall guy. Adrian Amos played for the Packers and showed up real well Sunday against the Texans.
He sure did.
Wearing number 31. I couldn't believe it when I saw him getting in the backfield. And Kyle Fuller, Mount St. Joe, plays. I think he's still with the Bears. I got out of St. Joe in like 9 or 10. And everybody knows about Cyrus Jones. You got to wish him well after what he's gone through with his health problems. But he was drafted high by the Patriots, played for Belichick, and he had a season here. So that was, and then Ambrose Wooden. I don't know that he ever made it to the NFL. I know he from left Gilman. He was a big star, like 06, 07, and maybe started some of the runs that Biff had with his defensive prowess. I know he went to Notre Dame, but I don't know if he ever went up to the top.
He never went to the NFL. I Googled him today to get some information. He is a vice president at Goldman & Sachs, and he's doing
No, he
great
made it.
things.
He still made it big.
Yeah.
And listen, this is in football. Got to get one thing in here about the Dodgers. Adam Kolarek, he was a Catonsville player, high school, won Dodgers World Series team yesterday. Another Catonsville guy, you guys probably familiar with the name Jeff Nelson. He was
Jeff
on the
Nelson.
World Series team from Catonsville, played on the Yankees championship World Series team in 2000. Like trivia for you, there's another guy that played locally at Arundel High, baseball player that was on that World Series team in 2000. Braves for a couple years, real good pitcher with the Braves, but won a World Series with the Yankees. There's trivia for you. Any guesses?
No, what's his name?
Denny Nagel.
Danny Nagel. Yep,
So-
I've heard the name.
Okay.
Coach, I got some
Yep.
trivia for you. So what happened was in life, God had to invent another sport in between football season, and baseball was one of the sports. You know what I'm saying? Reggie, am I right?
Absolutely. I do
Football
love
is the
baseball.
main.
I guess.
Football.
Basketball people would disagree with you.
Right.
Basketball
Mhm.
people definitely disagree with you.
Coach, so, are you getting ready to? You going to cover the MIA that's starting up on the 7th?
Well, we're going to start with some soccer,
Soccer.
this week. You know,
Okay.
6 of the teams broke away and formed the Catholic Soccer League.
Wow, that's so they're all Catholic schools.
Yeah.
Coach, that you know what?
You know, it's
I think they might.
Curly, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
trend right there.
Who
You
is
might
that?
see that.
What teams?
Yeah, what teams are playing?
It's going to be John Carroll, Curly, St. Joe, Coward Hall, Loyola, and Spalding are your 6 teams.
Dude, wow, that would be a great
That's going to be
football
the new
league.
MIAA.
Right. Hey,
Yeah,
Joe,
it's going to be they're going to do a 10-game soccer season.
Joe,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you after this. We'll form our own league, call it a certain thing, and then charge them like $50,000 like they do now, and get rid of the MIA. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I'm
You know,
with you.
just
I'm
saying.
on board.
No, I'm happy to be on, and especially throwing a little baseball, basketball, and soccer. Great,
You got it.
great.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much for the last 2
All right,
weeks
have a good
calling in.
show.
All right, buddy. Take care.
See you,
See
Joe.
you, Joe.
Okay, righto. Bye-bye.
All right, so let's cover what we had in before we get our next guest in, and we'll just keep going. So number 1 was Victor Abamary from Gilman, had 9 votes. Again, we had 37 different people nominated for defensive line DNs, so 37 guys' names. Number 2 was Melvin Elise from Randallstown. We know that he isn't playing in the NFL.
Fall from grace.
Number 3,
Phenomenal
player. Number 3, Aaron Maben, local guy from
How did he play linebacker?
Hammond.
Nope,
Was it
Hammond High
Hammond or
School.
Hammond,
I think he was at
No, he went to Mount Hebron.
Mount Hebron.
Mount Hebron.
Went
Off
to
of
Mount
99.
Hebron.
I knew it
Right,
was off of
exactly.
99.
First round draft pick out of Penn State.
He tests well.
Right.
He tested very well.
Played for the Jets, played for the Bills, and I know, shout out to Baltimore City. He's real instrumental in trying to turn things around and mentoring kids in Baltimore City. He's an artist.
Yeah, and he
Doing a
was
great thing.
him and Keon were really tight when
Right.
they did the Carpenter house.
Right.
And
So
he
shout
did a
out to
lot.
Aaron. Any way we can help him, we dump in to help him. Number
Did a
4,
lot for
Charles
the,
Tapper from City. We talked about went to Oklahoma, played for Dallas Cowboys and the Jets. And the number 5 was B.J. Benning. B.J. Benning from River Hill, defensive line. He was Howard County Player of the Year.
I thought that said
what-
Bill Bringinger.
No,
Wow.
B.J. Benning.
Shout out to Bill.
Shout out to Eastern Tech.
Right, from River Hill, went to Lehigh. And then number 6 was our own
Reggie White.
Number 6.
Reggie White, number 6. He's upset because he was number 6. Played D tackle, Milford Mill, and then went to the Chargers.
Little
Played
trivia
in the
for you.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 29
Little
Chargers.
Milford Mill trivia for you. Name the one person that was on both state championship losses.
Hey, little trivia.
Who
Name
person
name
was it?
name a coach that won the Big 33. Reggie White.
Yeah.
I wasn't never the head coach, so.
Name a coach that was the head coach who had an offensive coordinator who lost.
Really?
Him. 21-0. We lost the Big 33 last year because the offense
Reggie
couldn't
still
score.
lost on this trivia question.
Because the offense couldn't score.
I don't know what you're
All
talking
right,
about.
moving right along.
Reggie and them offense didn't
All right,
score
here we
either
go.
in that
Doug-
game.
Doug
I
on
just
the
want to
line.
make that known. They won 9-6.
Hey, President Duval, are you on the line? President Duval. Doug.
Yeah, I'm here, Rip.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm on.
There
Hey,
he is.
what's
I'm on.
happening, Doug? How are you?
I'm doing good,
Hey,
doing
Coach.
good.
All right, so this is your 2-minute fame here. Defensive lineman. Did you hear that? Elwood
Well-
said you need 4. Give us like your 2 best defensive linemen you've seen in your lifetime, Coach.
Well, I like Victor Albemarle. He was really good. But you know what? You talked prior about Reggie White. We played against Reggie when he was a senior. And, I mean, we had to double team him and trap him and down block him. I mean,
Coach,
he
you
really made
coached
us
against
change our
Reggie?
offensive plan. Yeah, he was very good. That Milford Mill team had a lot of talent.
Coach, how old were you when you coached against Reggie? 21?
I saw the video with Reggie. He had 2 donuts on.
You're talking about 87.
No, he was
man.
good.
87.
I'm not saying it because he's sitting there. He really was
I
good.
appreciate that.
Coach, he
Duval.
he was so mad when I told him he finished number 6. He was throwing stuff in the
Said,
bottom.
who was voting?
All right, Coach, you
And,
got go ahead.
and Melvin Elise was really good, too,
Yeah,
from Baltimore County. He
no
was
doubt.
a player.
Uh,
D-backs,
No, linebackers.
Cyrus Jones.
We're going linebackers, Coach. We got to go in
linebackers.
order.
Well, Tommy Polly.
Right.
The 2 kids I saw in my coaching career that could change the game of football was Tommy Polly from Dunbar and Chris Kelly from down in Montgomery County at
Quarterback.
Seneca Valley. Those two guys just were incredibly. I'm not saying they're the best players I've ever seen. I'm just saying they could change a game around. They had all the different tools that it took. So he was really that good. I had the kid Zach Brown to play in the league for like 6 years, and I played Zach sort of at strong safety, so he was a combination linebacker, D-back. And I hate to do this sort of stuff because you're always prejudiced towards your own kids. I had a kid, Brent Guyton, and he went out to UCLA. John Ogden said that Brent Guyton was as good as anybody he ever played with, including Ray Lewis. That's what John said. Now he could have been talking when they were in college or something, but Brent wasn't. I mean, I think he was a defensive player of the year, and, we won 50 games and lost 2 with him. Pretty good.
That's really good.
And the other kids, Brent Guyton, Zach Brown, and Tommy Polley.
All right,
Those 3 could play linebacker anywhere.
DBs, Coach.
Cyrus Jones out of Gilman and Ambrose Wooden, they were really good, and Brian Jordan.
Yes, Brian Jordan. Yep, very good. Coach, those
guys.
Dual athlete out of Milford Mill High School, made the Pro Bowl for the Falcons and was a Atlanta Falcon All-Star MLB player. Milford Mill. Can I get the job?
Yeah.
Can I get the job?
All right, Coach. So with the baseball theme we had a minute ago with Joe DeBlasi, who was one of the best players you ever coached that was a football/baseball player? This trivia, Coach.
Jimmy Traber.
There you go, Jim Traber. You guys know that? Okay, so a lot of Baltimore. Right.
Well, he played with the Orioles, but he played out of Oklahoma State for Jimmy Johnson. I mean, he could really play. He was the prep athlete of the year in the Sun paper.
Wow.
In fact, he won everything.
What position was he in?
Quarterback.
Football? Quarterback. Wow. And as big as he is?
He was excellent.
Did you win the state championship with him?
Pause.
We didn't have, no, we didn't, actually.
No.
We didn't. You could only 4 teams made it in back then. It's crazy. We were 9-1 at home.
Awesome.
Real quick,
that
Coach,
could have been my best
most
team ever.
important question I'm going to ask you is, how is Jan doing and how is Coach?
They are all good now. Miss Jan is, mom again, raised 3 kids, so she's busy.
So
she's busy. That's good.
Please give her our regards.
Yeah.
That's my lady.
All right, Doug. Hey,
I will do that.
Hey, thanks for calling. Keep catching. Go ahead. What's up? Go ahead.
Yeah, you take care.
All right, buddy. Catch some fish. Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Snacks at Doug's house. I'm on the way.
Derek Toney now. Yeah. All right, so linebackers. Let's go down the list. I'll give you the top 5, and then we'll get Derek Toney on, and then we'll do the 5 after that. Number 1 was Tommy Polley from Dunbar. He was a second-round pick, pick number 42, played for the Saints, Rams, and Ravens. Number 2, Shane Lee from St. Francis. Got a bunch of votes. He's at Alabama right now. He was the number 2 linebacker coming out of high school in the USA. Again, he's only a sophomore, so we'll see what happens. There were a lot of St. Francis kids I've known over the last 2 or 3 years that are awesome players, but then people haven't seen them their whole lifetime. They've seen them 1 or 2 times, so that's where they'll kind of get in the stick here.
Tell them who number 3 is with the 3rd most votes.
Mike Crawford from
Patterson Pride.
Patterson, linebacker, went to Virginia Tech. Number 3.
Pride.
Number 4, my favorite linebacker that I coached at Loyola, Brady Smith. Brady Smith had 5, went to Boston College, transferred to Towson. He's playing rugby stuff now, really strong, help out in the community. He's doing a great job. And number 5, another Loyola kid that I coached, Bubba Harris. Do you remember Bubba Harris?
That's not the Bubba Harris from the police academy.
No, Bubba Harris. Boy, that kid could play. He had 5 votes. He was the 2007 Player of the Year on defense for the Baltimore Sun. Again, that's the top 5 for us. All right, we got Derek on the line. Derek, you there?
Top Gun 2.5.
Derek.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Welcome back, Derek. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I forgot to tell Elwood last week. I got to call you the Larry Brown Baltimore football coaches. You only 3 jobs in 1 calendar year, man. Amazing. You're amazing.
Oh, my God, Coach. That is awesome.
Don't get on Rip's side, man. Do not get on his side. Hey, I'm not gonna say this.
He
my
asked
last
Kyle
stop,
Schmidt
but
if they could play a game next year, and I told Kyle I wouldn't book it because you don't know if he's going to be at Northeast next year.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Derek, don't fall into
No,
that trap.
congratulations.
You know where I go at. I do my work, and
I know, man. I know. Well, congratulations. I forgot to tell you, congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
Derek,
Actually, it's
before you,
congratulations twice. 'Cause I never even got a chance to congratulate you on the brief.
Oh, you still on it? Oh.
You know, the biggest challenge in Anne Arundel County for him is going to be they're not going to let him have 3 football helmets. They're not going to let him have
Right.
6 uniforms. They're not going to let him, you know.
Uniform. I don't know about
I
a
can't wait to
Peak out
see.
uniform,
He's
breast
going to be,
cancer
Anne Arundel County's putting a chokehold on you, Elwood.
No, I'm gonna have all my
alternate-
uniforms.
The
Don't
alternate
trip.
uniform.
Uh-huh.
Before we go any further, Derek, tell them who takes care of you post game. Does anyone take care of you like Milford Mill takes care of you?
No one has the hospitality post and pregame.
Absolutely.
All right,
So-
all right.
so-
Wait.
wait.
So I need you to come cover Northeast, and then we'll have this conversation after that.
Okay.
So how
Okay,
was he
you know
after
what,
he
some
lost
of
the
them
state
need-
championship?
He was pretty good. He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
I think he was pretty good. Yeah, you should look on YouTube. You know, he sat up there and did the press
I
conference.
took it like a man.
What's your secret, Reg? I used to when
Hey,
things.
listen, I'm
Wait
gonna
a minute,
tell you
hold on. When things were going really bad, I used to count to 10. I used to smile and go 1, 2, 3. Is that what you do?
No, I just congratulated Rick Connor. I shouted out my kids, and then I answered all
Listen.
the questions, and I didn't push blame on no
I'm
official.
going to tell you
I
like
didn't
this,
blame
Reggie.
not one official.
Reggie White.
I didn't blame
We got
any
to
of
move.
the
Come on, we got to
officials.
move. Go ahead.
Reggie White, I'm going to tell you this before we go on. Listen, I know your pain
Yeah.
to sit up on that podium and they want to talk to you after you done lost. I know it. Hey, we done lost football games before, but to be interviewed after you lose a game that you felt like you should have won, that hurts.
You know, just remember, you always give credit to the other team because they worked
Always.
just as hard
Always,
as you.
yeah.
You always give credit to your team because they got to that spot. You know, you just got to eat some
But you
humble
got to tell them
pie.
like Dennis Green said. They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
And Ridge and Elwood, listen. And I think I've told you this before. You know, there's a lot. You know, you get to that podium. Only a handful of guys get there in that first weekend in December. So even though you don't get the glory of holding up the state championship trophy, you do get the opportunity that, let me tell you, a couple hundred coaches would kill to be in your position.
Derek, you need to watch podcast number 4. We had an assistant coach from Wise on, Steve Rapp, and I said to him,
Yeah, I know Steve.
Right, so I said, these MIA guys are going to have a problem coaching in the cold because it's really cold. And Steve looked at me and goes, Coach, we know how it is. We are always playing that December weekend. So
That's right.
That's
That's
confidence.
right.
All right, jump to the main subject here. 2 defensive linemen you've seen and reported on. The 2 best you've ever
All
seen.
right.
Go ahead.
All right. Big Albert Murray from Gilman and Aaron Maben. Mount Hebron.
Yeah.
I think I saw your list earlier, Scott.
Yeah, I had
think
Hammond
you
on
had
there. It's
Hammond
Mount-
down. Yeah, it was Mount Hebron.
Mount Hebron.
Then linebackers, I had my 3, Tommy Polly, Michael Kaiser, and E.J. Henderson.
Oh, yeah. I
E.J.
forgot about
Henderson.
that.
Wow. Yep.
And his
Yeah.
brother.
Where did E.J. went to what school, though?
E.J. went to Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
And
That's
then Maryland.
Maryland.
Aberdeen went to Maryland and then had a pretty good career with the Vikings. And
Mm-hmm.
I think did he play with Cleveland for a minute? I think he went to Cleveland. Or maybe that may be another Maryland guy I'm thinking about. But yeah, he's my number 3. And then DBs, that's a tough list, man. I had
Is that a
list
great
of
list?
20 kids. That's a great list.
It
But
is.
my top 3, I got to go with Cyrus Jones from Gilman.
Mhm.
Keon Carpenter from Woodlawn, the late Keon Carpenter another guy left us way too soon.
Wow.
And Adrian Amos from Calvert Hall.
Yep. Good
Hey,
deal.
if y'all give me a minute, man, just shout out to my man Keon Carpenter, who had the Carpenter House, who we had camps, and we had 200, 300 kids, and probably 100 of those kids, maybe 150, couldn't afford it.
Yep.
And we fed them. I mean, we had them all day long. We had breakout sessions. Man, he really had a vision. He implemented it, and he took care of these Baltimore kids. He took them down to Atlanta. They were playing against Deion Sanders and them teams. It was just God bless you, Keon. We miss you, bro.
Yeah, his loss is really, few guys who, made it big from Baltimore has never given as much as Keon did. Keon was about it. You know, he walked the walk and talked the talk on the field, off the field. I mean, he gave so much to the community that I saw, that I was able to see. I'm not saying no one else has done it, but I saw it, and you saw it, of course, Richie, firsthand.
Yeah, I saw it firsthand.
All right. Hey, Derek, guess what? We're not letting you off the hook here because we have 2 more weeks of a podcast we're going to do. And
oh, no problem.
Well,
no
here's
problem.
why
I'm
we're not-
surprised you guys.
well-
Listen, you guys made it through 1 week. That was a miracle in itself.
Dude, but this is number 8 for us. So here's what I'm saying, not letting you off the hook. I talked to your executive director today, and I know you guys are doing an all-decade team, offense and defense. He said you did the defensive team, right?
Yes.
So we're going to have you either on next week or the week after to talk about the kids you picked for that team and tell us why and all that. So we'll have you back on. Sound
Next
good?
week we have coaches.
Hey, no problem.
Coaches in the area. Coach.
Yeah, Coach, we're going to do coaches. You want to chime in next week on coaches?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Dude, we're
Just
going to make you a
just hit
stable
me up.
thing.
Yeah,
We're going to make you stable here.
To bring an extra chair over here.
All
for
right,
Derek.
sounds good. Derek, hey, thanks for calling in and have a great night. All right?
Appreciate it, Derek.
No problem,
Take
guys.
care,
Guys, be
Derek.
good. Talk to you later.
All right, rounding out the linebacker core. Number 6 was Ben Eaton from Gilman. Got plenty of votes. Went to Lafayette and Towson. Again, coaching in the area, giving back to the community. What a great young man. His father tragically passed away, coached at Dunbar. You know, the Ben Eaton story is awesome. Number 7, Chris Kane from Mervo.
From Mervo High School.
Mervo High
He
School
was
linebacker.
a absolute baller in high school.
He got a bunch of votes. Again, he made the top list. Number 8,
DeAndre Wallace.
DeAndre Wallace played in the Big 33 at linebacker.
Arundel, he's a
right.
standout at Towson.
Yep, playing really well. I could see him playing in the league. What do you think? Possibility? Possibility. He's a hard worker, man.
Yeah,
so
he
he's
definitely
gonna
works hard,
work.
so I understand.
Number 9, Micah Kaiser from Gilman, University of Virginia, plays for the Rams since 2018. Again, everybody knows Micah's story, great Gilman kid. Number 10, Zach Martin from River Hill. River Hill High School had a linebacker, had a bunch of votes, went to McDaniel College, was Howard County's Player of the Year, I believe, in defense. We had tying down the bottom, Brandon Copeland. Copeland.
He's with the Pats now.
He's
Right.
with the Pats. Hope you get well soon, Brandon.
Right. Brandon played linebacker, went to the University of Penn. Great story about him. He's a professor in college during the offseason, teaches the kids about business. From what I hear, he teaches people at the league how to keep their money and invest their money. I mean, he's
And
doing
he
And
also
he runs an outstanding youth camp
Youth
in
camp, and it's absolutely
in the
free.
summer, and it's free. Yeah.
free. Again, he was with the Patriots, the Jets, the Lions, and Titans. And then rounding out the linebackers, Terrence Garvin from
With all the
Loyola.
animal NFL
Terrence,
teams.
right. So Terrence Garvin again went to West Virginia. He's an NFL kid. What was with Washington, Seattle, San Francisco, and the Dolphins. And then we already mentioned E.J. Henderson was good, and Zach Brown. Zach Brown's been playing in the league a bunch of times. Played at Wild Lake, and he's doing great things. All right, so that rounds out our linebackers. We've covered D-line and linebackers. Now we have Sean Murphy on the line. Sean, you there?
I'm there. I'm here. What's
Coach
happening?
Murphy, you back again, baby.
Yes.
Hey, did
of
you win?
course.
Did you win Friday?
We did. We're 4-1, so we're doing well.
Way to go,
4
Murph.
and
doing
1, Murph.
well.
8-man
We're doing
football.
well.
That's what we're talking
Yes.
about. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Hey, Murph, I know how you don't like politics and stuff. I just popped up on my phone. There's no way to sugarcoat it. 1 American dies every 107 seconds from COVID-19. Unbelievable, huh,
How
Murph?
do you have that on you?
And it just came up on
Really?
my phone, man. I guess somebody
They all
brainwashed
got
me.
underlying issues.
Yes, underlying
Yeah, that's
issues.
exactly
Hey,
right.
You
That's
have any
exactly
issues
right.
down at your school? You still good?
Nothing, man. We're good. We've been playing all the way through. None of the teams in our league. We've been good so far. No issues at all. Now, again, we do the right thing, and our kids are smart about it. And I think most of the kids from the other schools are as well, because they don't want to jeopardize not being able to play. But so far, nothing.
Right.
We've been good.
I brought that up earlier, Coach, and I had my 2 sidekicks here go, well, Coach, they're 14 and 15 years old. Do you think they're going to listen to you? And I'm like, well, they have to. That's what coaches are for, right?
Well, you know
They
what?
got
No,
parents.
what
They
we
got
found
stable
out
parents in their
is the
household.
more the kids listen. I'm serious. The more the kids are involved in school activities, the less likely they're interact with other kids. So the
Wow.
more they're on campus and the more they're involved, they're working with one another. So
Yep.
now we don't have to worry about our kids going out, hanging out with other kids, or going other places because they're too busy with things going on at school.
Can you go to
So
the
it's
Biden
actually-
campaign and say that? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry. All right, Murph, let's get back to football.
One of them going to
Yes,
do a good
yes,
job
yes.
of controlling it.
Hey, I don't know if you're tuned in. We had Coach Ireton on earlier, and he said he's spreading it out at Curly. He's got a quarterback can throw the ball. He don't need to be
He
2 by
said-
2.
He said the heck with 2 foot to foot. He's 2 foot splits.
Shout out to Greg Charlton with them 2-foot splits.
All right, here we go. Defensive line, Coach. You're the best you've ever seen in Baltimore. D-line.
The first Victor Abiamari.
God,
And
man.
again, I didn't now. Reggie's got to be up there, but I had to see Reggie play. But Victor, I did see, and
Wait a
Victor
minute.
was
Whoa,
a stud.
hold the phone, Coach. You haven't seen the video he keeps posting on
I only
Facebook?
posted it one
No,
time.
I've seen it about
well,
15
Wasn't he
times.
playing
He
offensive
posted,
line?
yeah, he was playing offensive line, right?
Yeah.
How were you in defensive line?
I was an O-line, D-line.
You know, and like Elwood said, he was wearing 2 inner tubes while I was playing. I was like, what the
2
hell?
donuts. He had arm pads on, leg pads, all kind of stuff.
Late 80s, baby. That was the dress in the late 80s now. Come on.
But the guy I did see, because we played against him in 03, was Victor. Victor was a stud. He was he looked like a man-child as a 17-year-old senior. He was I can remember watching him in track and field, and he was ran their 4x200, and he was their last leg of the two.
Wow,
Unbelievable
you legit
athlete.
when you the
Fast,
anchor, that man.
legit, nasty. I mean, just physical. Again, he was a man among boys. So definitely Victor would be my choice as far as defensive lineman.
Awesome. What about linebackers now?
Linebackers, you know what? And I didn't coach against him, but I watched him on the high school level, and he's tearing it up on the college level. The kid from St. Francis, Shane Lee, he's nasty. I mean, think about it. He started as a freshman in Alabama.
Yeah, I asked these guys before the podcast, is he really that good? Because I said he finished second in voting, and they're like, well, we'll see. So he's that good.
No, I'm telling you, man, he was. Now Tommy Polly was another one who was a stud.
TP.
And I, you know, there's so many good linebackers in the last, 20 or 30. I mean, we had some great. I love Terrence Garvin, Tommy Polly, but Shane Lee. Watching him, he's special.
So you were at Curly for 25 years. Did you recruit Tommy Polly?
No, I was at Curly for 20 years, but
Okay.
I saw Tommy play, and he was really. I mean, he was a great player. He was the real deal. Plus, he was. You know what? People forget, he was actually a top 50 basketball player.
Yeah.
He was an unbelievable
Coach said that
basketball
earlier.
player.
Coach said he had more notoriety in basketball.
He did.
Yep.
He did. And that's what everybody thought, he was going to go that route.
That was a recruiting plug for him to go to Florida State. They told him he could play both.
Right.
Yep.
Skittles.
Yep. So
Mhm.
super talented. You want my defensive
Yeah,
back?
DBs. Give us that to us, Coach.
All right. Again, we played against Ambrose Wooden when he was at Gilman. Even though he didn't play a whole lot of DB in high school, they would play him a lot in the big games. I remember watching him play when they played McDonough, and he was special. I loved Kyle Fuller, who played at St. Joe.
Absolutely.
I think his junior year he had like 3 or 4 interceptions for touchdowns. He was a stud.
It
And
was
I
all
saw
against
Adrian-
Curly, right, Coach?
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
what
throw the ball.
that-
Are you kidding me?
No, that
It was
didn't
just
happen.
3 passes.
Yeah, he was a stud. And I saw Adrian Amos. He was a player too at Calvert Hall. Again, a lot of good player. That's the one thing. A lot of talented defensive backs in the Baltimore area. I mean,
Yeah.
Cyrus Jones was excellent.
Hey,
Your
Coach-
old guy Gibbons,
Yep.
Garrett McPherson was a stud.
Yeah.
Hey, one of your
Went to
Curly guys
Maryland.
made the top 10.
Yeah, Glenn was a heck of a player as well. So,
So,
there's a lot of.
Is he
lot of
still in
good
the
players.
NFL or is he out of the NFL? Glenn?
No, you know what? No, Glenn's an attorney in Atlanta.
Attorney.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Curly kids
So-
are smart.
They are, you
That
see,
is good
doing some good things. Hey, one other guy I like as another DN that I got to mention is Aaron Maben was a heck of a player too at Hammond. I remember watching him on film, and he was really impressive.
Mount Hebron,
He's a heck of a
Mount
player as
Mount
well.
Hebron, right.
Mount
Mount
Hebron,
Hebron, and he played in the All-Star game. Yep. Was
Yep.
was
He was a
unbelievable.
stud.
Yep.
He was
He's
a
another
stud.
advocate for
All right, Murph,
Baltimore kids.
how many more games do you got to the championship?
We got 2 regular season, and we've already clinched a spot for the playoffs, state playoffs.
Congratulations,
You-
Coach.
you
So
still-
we're moving forward.
You're still
So-
televising the games, correct?
Some Skittles.
We still are. And you know what? Here's something I can't say down here, but we've gone the entire season without completing a pass this season, with the exception of a 2-point play. So we've rushed for 2,300 yards, 453 a game, and haven't completed a forward pass all year.
Coach, send me the link. I gotta watch this.
I'm telling you, Coach.
Absolutely.
I
It's
gotta
great.
watch
They
this.
they have a
400
run.
and some
They have a
yards a
running
game.
back who? What's he? A junior? You got a running back?
We got one that's a sophomore and one that's a senior, but
And
we
they're
haven't completed the
unbelievable.
pass
Right.
the entire year.
Not a swing pass, nothing?
Nope.
Nothing.
Screen.
Hey,
Well,
keep running the ball, Coach. Keep running the
That's
ball.
all we do. Listen, we played last week and didn't throw one ball.
All right, brother.
Pound the ground.
All right, Coach. We'll keep
You
an eye
got
on
it.
you. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, we're going to cover coaches, the best coaches in the area. So tune in,
Sounds-
or we'll probably call you and get your input. All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
good. See you guys. Take
All right.
care. Thank
All right,
you.
man. Take
All
care.
right.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
bro. All right, so I'll do the DBs real quick before we get Sheldon on there, and we'll do our picks, and we'll be done for tonight. Cyrus Jones was number 1 from Gilman. Again, went to Alabama, played for Baltimore and Denver. Number 2 was Brian Jordan, Milford Mill. We talked about baseball and football, Cardinals, Braves, and Dodgers. Number 3 was Ambrose Wooden from Gilman, DB, 7 years, played, or 7 votes, Notre Dame. Then number 3 was Kyle Fuller, Mount St. Joe DB, 2014 NFL, went to the Bears. Then we had Vince Fuller, Woodlawn, Titans, Virginia Tech. Number 5, Roger Brown from Cardinal Gibbons High School. Still talk to Roger quite a bit. Virginia Tech kid, played for the Giants, went to 2 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowls. Claim to fame for him is he made the tackle on the kickoff during the Persian Gulf War. I remember that. Number 6, Garrick McPherson from Cardinal Gibbons, played at Howard a little bit and then went to Gibbons. Was at University of Maryland, was on the Giants program for a while. Number 7, Glenn Williams from Curley. Again, played at Duke and played for the Kansas City Chiefs, now attorney, we just found out. Number 8 was Keon Carpenter, Woodlawn, Bills and Falcons. Number 9 was Adrian Amos, Calvert Hall. Went to Penn State, now playing for the Packers. Number 10, Christian Varner.
Christian Varner,
Randallstown.
Yep.
Went to
University of
Maryland,
Maryland,
right?
played for the Bills and the Browns. I've heard that name many times.
Christian Varner, no, he's at Villanova right now.
Oh, he's okay. So maybe it's the wrong person. All right. Kevin Johnson Kevin Johnson from River Hill, DB. I don't know if you guys know. Number 1 round. He was picked first round. Number 16 from River Hill. Was with the Texans, the Bills, and the Browns. Great kid. Blake Countess was at Gilman, but then left a good counsel. Some people mentioned him. He was at Auburn, plays for the Eagles. And rounding that out, the last DB we had, this is great because I remember watching him in the Big 33, and DeLon Parrish said, oh, he's going to play in the league. Josh Woods from McDonough. I don't know if you remember Josh, DB. Went to he was a big free agent pickup by the Bears. Again, a great football player. And again, Reggie, your guys, Brandon Savage and Mike Jones. It was Mike Jones. Mike Jones, right?
Jones.
Shout out Mike Jones. So shout out.
Got a Super. Not a Super Bowl. What do they call it?
Great
Cup.
Great Cup.
Started for the
Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Right. And
Mike
again,
Jones.
Again, so to the
Shout
Baltimore
out Brandon
community.
Savage, Mike Jones.
D-line, 37 players were different players. Linebackers, we had 50 different players. DBs, there were 42 different players. And again, we had to go with the most votes. That's who we have. So now we have the state czar. We'll call him the state czar because he knows everything. The czar. The czar means he knows everything.
Be DBU in Maryland now.
Oh, okay. Sheldon, you there?
I am indeed. Hey, thanks for having me back, guys.
Hey, question Elwin wants to know, did you work on the webpage yet?
No.
All right, D-line, give us your D-line. Best in the state. Don't have to be Baltimore Metro.
Okay. Last year I thought Brian Breezy from Damascus, unbelievable talent, one of the nation's top prospects, walked into Clemson as a freshman, 3 tackles, a sack, and a blocked field goal in his very first collegiate game. We're going to be hearing about him on Sundays in the not-too-distant future. Guess he's going to have to do 3 years at Clemson first.
I know Urbana's sick for letting him get away.
Well, yeah. That's a tough situation. That's a tough pill for them to swallow because he was over at Urbana. He was a Frederick County kid, but he went across the county line to play for Damascus at the end, and that was at a time when Urbana was having quite a bit of turmoil in terms of turning over coaches and all of that. So, but I'm going to stick in Moco for my number 2 D lineman, Darnell Dockett from Paint Branch.
Yes, I've heard that name. Yep.
Yeah,
good one.
Absolute stud back in his day, and an NFL player as well. And then at that point, I think I gotta like a lot of the Baltimore kids. Victor Abamiri was one of the most physically imposing, dominating defensive linemen I remember seeing in person. So if you ask me for my top 3, I'd probably go with those 3.
All right, linebackers.
Without a doubt, Tommy Polley was the best. What a great athlete he was, not only in football but basketball as well. My number 2 linebacker.
I just want to say real quick, Sheldon, we beat Tommy in the championship when I was at Patterson.
All right, so
in the MSAs.
Were you coaching
or
or were you
back in the
playing
day.
Patterson?
I was on the team.
You played football?
Yeah, Patterson.
You-
Beat Dunbar in
Juice
the
Clippers?
Hold on.
Beat Dunbar
Sheldon,
in the
I don't mean to
championship.
interrupt. What position did you
26-14
position
at Poly when they still had grass
What
on the
position
field.
did you play in football?
I played outside linebacker and receiver.
You obviously took too many hits. All right, moving right along. Go ahead. Go ahead, Coach. What we got?
So I'm gonna after Tommy, I move over to PG County for my number 2 and 3 guys.
Okay.
Sean Merriman from Gwynn Park went on to have a great NFL career with the Chargers,
Lightning.
and one guy who was completely dominant in the high school game was Navarro Bowman. If you remember him from Suitland,
Yep.
he was actually our state player of the year as a junior. Got injured his senior year and only played 4 games, so he wasn't able to repeat that performance. But Tommy Poly is the only person that the Associated Press, state media, whatever you want to title that, he's the only guy to win the Defensive Player of the Year twice.
Wow.
For the state of Maryland. And Bowman would have done it probably had he been able to stay healthy and deliver another Suitland-like year he did. But, Navarro spent some time in the NFL with the 49ers and ended up having a good career overall.
Yeah, his name popped up in ours when we said only Baltimore Metro people. I remember reading that. I was like, Suitland popped up, and I was like,
I wanted to say Sean Merriman, but he was down.
Yeah, Merriman. And I'll tell you the story with Merriman that I'll never forget was like on draft day when he was selected. This is he cried. He was at home with his family on draft day. This was a grown man who cried about being drafted, and he could not believe, what he had come from to what he had accomplished, all due to football. He was just one of the most decent guys that I have ever come in contact with in terms of, caring about the game and caring about where he came from. So he rates pretty high in my on my list in a lot of different categories, for sure.
awesome. All right, Coach, DBs.
DBs, I think the run of private school DBs in Baltimore are really hard to beat. Guys like Cyrus Jones. I was a big fan of Kendall Fuller. I know they scored pretty high for you guys. I know. Interestingly, a guy I mentioned last week, I perhaps should have deferred him to this week. Stephon Diggs was actually the state's defensive player of the year his senior year.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was a standout D-back for good counsel as well. And it's, to be quite honest, when you look back at some of the people who win top awards, it's a little easier to put him as a defensive player of the year when you have a running back who had like 47 touchdowns that year, get your offensive player, But, Stephon, one of the best two-way players that we've seen in the state in a long time.
Coach, piggybacking on that, Jason Murphy from Edmondson, he got tons of votes for D line, and last week O line. I came in before the podcast. I said to these two guys, I said, "Was Murph that good?" And they were like, "Yeah, he was that good." So
then you had the Batman and Robin combination at Dunbar. You had Tommy, but you had Terrence Hinton.
Yeah, all right,
who played middle linebacker.
Yeah, so Terrence Hinton, he sent his thing in.
Yep.
He said, the numbers don't lie, and he had a press clipping on his vote and all that, had a statistic. So shout out to Terrence Hinton. He sent a nice nomination in for himself, so we like that. Yeah. All right, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Hey, sounds good. Again, thanks for everything that you're doing. Next week we're going to try to cover the best coaches in the state of Maryland, so that's going to be tough to pick those out.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I'm anxious to see what they're going to say. So we're going to
Dougie Duvall.
Right. So we're gonna throw them out there. But Coach, Sheldon, thank you very much for all you do for high school football. Stay safe, and we'll get back to you.
Shel.
All right, bud.
Hey, thanks guys.
All right,
take care.
Bud.
Bye.
Yeah, you got Al Thomas from Sherwood.
Yeah. All right. So rounding out the show right here, we're gonna go high school games.
Roger Wren.
High school game of the week here. Milford versus Overly would be playing this week. Week 9. Milford
I
versus
like
Overly.
Craig Rollins, but I gotta go Milford by 20.
Milford by 20. I like Craig also. He's like one of my favorite, but if I don't pick Reg, he'll start crying here. So I'm going to go with Reg. I'm saying by 36. Reg?
I'm just going to say Milford Mill.
Milford Mill. All right, second game, Dunbar versus Patterson. We need your jacket in the house, Coach.
I'm mad I ain't got my jacket, but you know where I'm going at.
I love my man down there, Patterson.
Larry.
I love Larry Mitchell, but I got to go with Dunbar.
You got to go with Dunbar.
Sorry, Elwood. I apologize.
I ain't sorry about nothing. Patty.
Right.
Patty over Dunbar.
Right. I was. I'm going to go with Dunbar. I'm going to go with
y'all
Dunbar.
can stay with Dunbar, but Patterson going to pull it out.
And then the last one we had River Hill versus Howard, correct?
I got Van Dusen in the slobber knocker. River Hill.
Knocker.
River Hill 14, Howard 12.
I'm going to go River Hill 14, Howard 13.
And I'm going to go, if Van Dusen coach like he plays golf, River Hill 100.
Oh. Hey, any coaches out there listening to this podcast, if you need a good golfer, Brian Van Dusen. That's who you need to call. Yes. And Reggie White. Reggie played with me. So we'll see what happens. All right, college games of the week. Penn State versus Ohio State.
I got Ohio State since Penn State. They still on that NyQuil from that dude with that stretch on the end of the game in the overtime.
Yeah, I'm going with Ohio State big over Penn State.
I'm going with Ohio State by less than 7.
Michigan versus Michigan State.
Michigan.
They actually look like they put it together and are rock and rolling. They got a shot. University of Maryland versus Minnesota.
Minnesota by 40.
Minnesota 40. Reg.
Don't call it a comeback. Let's go, Terps. I'm going with the Terps, baby.
They won't win a game this year.
And I'm hoping I'm not going to move on. I'll move on for that one. So, all right, NFL game. Ravens, Steelers.
Ravens before the hater
Black
goes.
and gold.
Black and
gold.
Ravens, Steelers. Who do you have? Black and gold.
Steelers.
Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens with the upset. All right, so.
I think we might be favored.
No, I think the Ravens are.
Steelers is favorite.
Steelers favored, man. Steeler is the favorite.
The sports writers are wrong.
Look to the producers.
Where the game at?
All right, so again, next week, guys, we're going to have our podcast number 9. We're going to talk about some of the best coaches in the state of Maryland, and we are going to have a football debate. So Elwood's going to send out a Facebook. List those questions you want me to ask the two coaches here so we can debate that for 2 to 3 minutes and see how smart these guys are. And at the end of the night, we'll have a vote cast to see who we're going to vote for.
I'm cursing.
Again, thank you to our sponsors, Under Armour, who sponsors the Big 33 and sponsors the BTC All-Star Game. I want to thank Rich Hosler, best realtor in realtor. Rich Hosler, best realtor in the state of Maryland. Sells houses, buys and sells. And then DePaul's. We want to thank DePaul's for letting us be here this evening.
Yeah, and real quick, Rick. I didn't mention this guy, but he was a terror. Big old light-skinned boy, Jesse Hayes from Woodlawn High School.
Woodlawn.
Who gave Richard Johnson
Shout out to Jesse.
Shout out.
That last game I coached him in, Jesse Hayes was going to go to Penn State. We decided to go to Howard, and he started as a freshman wearing jersey number 1, prima donna. But he was one hell of a defensive lineman.
And in closing, again, we want to thank everybody for participating in this, picking out the best positions for the state of Maryland and for the Baltimore Metro. I appreciate it.
As always.
Everybody's passionate about who they think are the best, and it's about taking care of these young men, promoting them, getting them in college.
Shout out to the 4 people that voted for me.
We can't end the show
without saying
shout out to the competition.
I'm not the question is, will he be at Northeast?
Absolutely.
Amen. Podcast out.